Everyone, welcome back to the channel. We have got ourselves another mini crawler. So we have picked up the Absima, not sure if that's how you say it, CR18. So it's a 1/18 scale rock van. This actually comes under some other brands as well. You've got like Hobby Plus, FTX and some others as well. So it's basically the same thing, but just branded under Absima. So they say it's their pro version. So I actually got this off Model Sport. So I got a tenner knocked off it because the box was damaged. So quite often they have stuff in their pre-owned section. So if you're in the UK and you look on Model Sport's website, check out their pre-owned section every now and again because they do have some good deals in there. So anyway, so we got this one for £99. Let's get out of that box and see what you get. So in the box you get the rock van itself, which is a cool looking RC. So we'll get into that in a moment. You get your manual. You get a nice little sticker sheet, get a couple of tools, and then you've got a little 1 amp USB charger. So as it's only 1 amp, it's probably not going to be the quickest thing in the world, but still decent enough. And then you get your transmitter as well. So let's take a little closer look. So first off, the transmitter. It's got quite a lot of functionality on it. It's actually a 4-channel transmitter. Does fit quite nicely in the hand. Jewelry for your steering and your throttle. You've got your steering trim and your throttle trim adjustment. You can do your reversing of your servos, so steering reverse and throttle reverse. And then it does have this on here, which I'm assuming is to switch between different crawler modes and probably different battery types, but it doesn't actually tell you in the manual what the different modes do, so that's not really helpful. On the side you've got channel 3, I don't think actually does anything, and then channel 4 is what you do to control your lights, because it does actually come with lights at the box. So the actual rock van itself, it's got this nice kind of scale looking, it's just a Lexan body, but it's like, I think it's like 1.2 mil thick, so it's it's not really flimsy, clear windows as well, which is pretty cool. I do really like the look of the rock van. I just think it looks really cool. You've got your scale mirrors, you've got windscreen wipers, you've even got a little sticker for a rear view mirror in there as well. You've got your spotlights on the front, you've got working LEDs front and rear, including you've got like headlights, full beam, indicators, and on the rear, which I'll show you all of that in a moment, on the rear you've got your tail lights and your indicators. It's got portal axles front and rear, which is really cool. It does say that it's got metal gears in the front and rear axle as well. To remove the body, it's hinged on the front, and on the rear you've just got these 2 little body pins. So just pull those out, and then basically it just lifts up and can just go up on the front. So similar to the SCX24, but just obviously in the opposite direction. Shocks aren't oil filled, they are just again similar to the SCX24. They are just shocks and springs, so very bouncy. You can see it's got a rear mounted 600 milliamp hour 2S LiPo battery. You've got an all-in-one ESC and receiver in there, which I think it says is waterproof, but I believe they're calling it PPX4, which I think is actually IPX4, which my understanding means is actually only splash proof. So obviously we'll put that to the test and actually see what it's like. It's got a 0-30 55 turn motor, so you can see that motor is really small. This hinged body, to be honest, is actually already getting on my nerves, because it's when you're trying to do stuff, it's just in the way. It'd be nice if it was either like the TRX4M, where you could just pop it off, or if it was just clips both ends, because that's just a bit annoying in the way. But anyway, underneath we've got a 3-link on the front and we've got a 4-link on the rear. It does actually have a panhard bar on the front as well. So the tyres are I think they're 1.2 inch all-terrain tyres, so obviously they're quite big tyres. And then obviously with the with the portal axles as well, it should have quite a decent amount of ground clearance. You can see that you've got all your LEDs all connected in, and you do actually have spare ports on the ESC as well. So you could have additional LEDs, because like I said, on the front you do have those spotlights on the front as well, so you could potentially put some additional LEDs in there as well if you wanted to. So it does actually also have a 1 kilogram steering servo, which is a 3-wire servo as well. So if you do want to change the steering servo, it'd be nice and easy. But check out the speed on this steering servo. Yeah, that is like really fast. It's got a 45-degree turning angle. Okay, so it should be able to, you know, fairly standard these days, but you know, that should be okay. With your lights, so channel 3 on your transmitter, press it once, you'll get your headlights. Press it again, it's meant to be full beam. Press it again, doesn't actually seem to do anything. If you turn the wheel, then you get indicators. Okay, bit of a pet hate of mine, to be honest, because, you know, why would you indicate every time you turn your wheel, but hey ho. And if you press it again, you got hazards. Now in terms of the suspension, you can see it is quite bouncy, again, because it's just shocks and springs, they're not oil-filled shocks. You know, it is a bit bouncy. It's a shame, to be honest, they didn't fit oil-filled shocks, because I think that would have made a massive difference. And considering the price point, you know, this is £109 in the UK, which is like, what, $120? But considering here in the UK, a TRX 4M is £180. So this is obviously like £70 cheaper than a TRX 4M. Now, if it had had oil-filled shocks as well, then, you know, that would have been an even bigger selling point for it, to be honest. You want to see how it compares to a TRX 4M? There's your TRX 4M Defender, and there's your Rock van, both 1/18th scale. But if you want to check out more on the TRX 4 Defender, I have got a review on the channel. Check out my reviews playlist, and you'll see that on there. In comparison to an SCX24, you can see the size difference with the little 1/24th scale versus the 1/18th scale Rock van. Okay, we are out with the Rock van on our little mini rock crawler course in the back garden, so we can give it a little test. This is what we've got for the moment. So it's decent size for, you know, little 1/18 and 1/24th scale crawlers. So let's give the Rock van some tests and see what it's like. So first of all, let's test out some tyre grip. So it's actually quite a hard section. You've normally got to get a good run up on that one. So let's give it a run up and see if we can get up there. See, now that I think is possible downside to such a small motor. You know, it's probably got decent torque, but it's not got a great deal of wheel speed. And for something like that, where you need that wheel speed to actually be able to hop up over there, you know, it's struggling. So that might be an area that it's going to struggle with compared to, say, like the SCX24 or the TRX 4M. To be fair, one thing that is good though, normally with the TRX 4M and the SCX24 both in stock form and there, they would be trying to tip. Whereas this does seem like it's got better weight. Obviously that's just a Lexan body, so it's not going to have so much top weight, but you can definitely tell it's not lifting the wheels so much. So that was quite nice there. Actually some decent grip on those tyres. Quite often I'm spinning the wheels going up through there, so that's not bad. Let's try out our slow speed control as well, shall we? That's not bad. You can definitely tell the Lexan body on top is, you know, it's not so top heavy. This is where you get stuck in the pit digging in. Again, sometimes you need a bit of wheel speed. A little bit of clearance issue there on the front with that big scale front bumper. We need to try and get a bit of a different approach angle. Digging in, see if we can hop it. Let's try a different angle. Oh, our first tip over. Again, that bumper getting in the way of clearance. Like that. tipped over. That was quite nice. I think the only downside to this, it's got the portal axles, but I think it's actually the body is not working in its favour in a different way. It's lighter, but those big bumpers, again, it hung up. And this is actually quite a tricky rock to get up onto because it's so smooth. You can see the wheels just want to keep sliding off. Just keeps going off to the side. Ah, I thought I was going to do it then. Let's try again. Nice, nice and slow. Let's see what it's like coming down off there. Oh, it's grounded out in the middle. Try and get some grip on the front. Oh, nice recovery. Oh, nice, that did that well. You can see those tyres are struggling for grip there. It made it a fish. Yeah, if you look at it, there's not actually a massive amount of flex on this rig, to be fair. I think there's a lot more flex on like the SCX24 and the TRX4M. It does seem a little bit limited in comparison. You know, it's tucking the wheel up there on the rear, and you've got a little bit of flex on the front, but not a massive amount of flex. So I would say, you know, the tyres have got a decent amount of grip. The portal axles are definitely giving it a bit more clearance. It's not getting hung up on the rocks so much. But I think on the opposite side then, the body, the big bumpers, and the style of the body is actually making the body get hung up. So you're kind of like, you know, countering the portal axles with the body design. Obviously I love the look of the body, but yeah, the body's kind of working against the portal axles, to be honest. I quite like the you know, the slow speed control. To be honest, I'm finding the control a bit plasticky driving it one-handed. Reminds me of a WPL controller. Yeah, it's not bad, but I think if there's a foam or something on here on the grip, I think it would make a massive difference. Let's see if it can do the stairway. Not many of my rigs can get up the stairway, so let's see if it can get up here. Okay, in terms of your trail speed, let's see what it's like on full throttle. So that's full throttle. As you can see, it's not got much speed in it. It's very slow. So I get, you know, it's a rock van, but yeah, not much speed. Okay, let's try out the little log obstacle just to see if we can get over the logs. A little tyre test. Nice. To be fair, it made that look pretty easy. I mean, I appreciate they're only tiny little obstacles, but it's a good test, you know, just to see if the tyres can actually get some grip, because quite often your tyres will just spin on things like that. So yeah, that wasn't actually bad, to be honest. Tipped over. Okay, let's see what the tyres are like on a bit of loose dirt, just going up a slight incline. We'll start with a bit of an easier one. Give it a run up. I think the final thing to test is it actually waterproof? So small it's going to get washed away at this point. Hi. Well, you can't get much more of a waterproof test than that, can you really? Literally underwater floating down the street. Does it still work? Still works. It's certainly a great looking little RC, isn't it? I mean, I love the van, I love the little scale accessories, you know, the mirrors, the windscreen wipers. You know, I do love the front bumper and the rear bumper and the look of it. I think the front bumper and the rear bumper do seem to hinder it a little bit because they're quite big and bulky, so they kind of make, you know, your approach and your departure angle a little bit tight. But obviously being a Lexan body instead of a hard body, you know, you don't have to worry about that top heaviness so much. Just in case I didn't say everything earlier, to summarise, you know, you've got Paul axles, metal gears front and rear, you've got that all-in-one ESC and receiver, you know, comes with the headlights, tail lights, indicators. For me, the motor's a little bit too slow. Obviously I like to do a lot of trailing as well, and obviously that speed of that motor is like really slow. So you know, a slightly faster motor would be nice. If it helps, I figured out the some of the controls on the remote as well. Your little toggle switches here, so as standard number 1 comes down, and that's actually forward brake reverse, whereas if you push it up you get forward reverse. So depending on the type of style of driving you like doing, you know, if you'd rather just have forward reverse, just switch that number 1 up to the top, and then you'll get forward and reverse instead of forward brake reverse. Yeah, overall I'm really happy with it. You know, like £109 brand new. Obviously I only paid like 99, but £109 brand new, you know, with the Paul axles, decent tyres, you know, nice body, LEDs. You know, it's a shame some of the other more expensive brands don't have some of those features out of the box, you know, for a similar price point. So I would say for the money, you know, the Rock van is a good buy. So if you're considering, if you like vans and you want to get yourself a little crawler and you're not bothered about a hard body, then I would say, you know, this would definitely be a good one to look at. I think there's only 2 things I don't like about it: the speed of the motor and the battery strap. After just being in the water, you can see now the battery is just flopping around because it's just got those elastic bands basically. I'm not sure if I showed you earlier, but you can see it's just basically got these 3 elastic bands that hold the battery in. So obviously now the battery's just fallen out, and to be honest, you know, those elastic bands are only going to last a certain time before they snap, to be honest. It would have been nice if they just had a tiny little battery strap in there. Sorry, make that 3 things I probably don't like about it. I don't like how the body lifts up and stuff like that as well. That's a little bit annoying. So yeah, three gripes: the motor size, how the body comes up, and the battery strap. But otherwise, you know, I would say it's a cool little rig, especially for the money. You know, lots of features, and yeah, a decent buy. We've lost steering, so I think our steering servo doesn't like the water. So hopefully it'll dry out and it'll be okay. But yeah, so just a note, maybe it's not waterproof. So that IP or PPX4 rating or whatever, I think is just splash proof, not submerge it. So there you go. We got steering again now, but it's hit and miss. It's like it started steering on its own. So it'll probably dry out and be fine. Oh, there you go. Look, you can see it twitching. So yeah, it'll probably dry out and be fine. But yeah, there you go. Just a note. So potentially not waterproof if you're going to run it in like deep water and stuff like that. So there you go. Glad we tested that and found out. I appreciate it's a rock van, not a trail truck. But you know, got to try these things, so you guys don't have to find out the hard way. There you go, you can see it's going crazy now. Look, at least we tried it, now we know, not waterproof. Yeah, I hope you found the video helpful. Drop me a comment if you've got any questions. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.